Welcome back YouTube, I have Ahmed again from In-Depth Tech Reviews, and in today's video I would like to talk about the S21 Ultra. My experience with the S20 Ultra of last year was underwhelming. It was a very expensive device with the best spec sheet back then, but it didn't deliver the best experience in my opinion. So the question is, would you expect the S21 Ultra to do any better? Let's deep dive in what we have learned about the S21 Ultra from Samsung's Unpacked event and compare it with the previous experience of the S20 Ultra. Let's start with the performance. Unfortunately, Samsung is still offering the same phone with two different chipsets, the Exynos 2100 and the Snapdragon 888, depends on where you live. Based on my experience with the S20 Ultra of last year, the performance of the Exynos 990 variant was underwhelming compared to the Snapdragon 865. Not only this, the device was suffering from overheating issues and the battery performance was not as good. But what's promising this time is the new 5nm architecture. As per Samsung, it gives 2 times faster AI, 20% faster CPU, and 35% faster GPU. But we will not be able to confirm until we get our hands on the device, so if you are concerned about the Exynos variant, it's better to wait for some reviews before making your decision. Next, the camera. A lot of people like Samsung phone's camera for various reasons, but based on my camera comparisons, Samsung phones are always taking the third spot after the Google Pixel and the iPhones, especially in night photography. With the S20 Ultra, Samsung introduced the 108 megapixel sensor for the first time, but it had issues with the focus and the HDR performance was not great. However, using the 12 megapixel mode on the S20 Ultra produced better shots with more details and better dynamic range, so the 108 megapixel mode was not that useful. Also at night, the S20 Ultra struggled to keep up with the competition. The images were dark, they lacked details, and the results came out of the Pixel 4 XL and the iPhone 11 Pro Max was a lot better. And finally, the 100x space zoom was kind of a gimmick, and the image quality coming out of it was not great. I got impressive results at 10x and 30x zoom, but beyond 50x, the outcome was not good enough to be usable. So what did Samsung do this year to solve these issues? We still get the 108 megapixel sensor, but this time they added the re-mosaic technology. As per Samsung, it enhances the image quality by organizing the pixels based on the RGB Bayer patterns. It sounds like rocket science for someone who don't understand how cameras work, but the only way to confirm if it's really better is by comparing the S21 Ultra with other phones like the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the Pixel 5. So stay tuned for my full camera comparison for the S21 Ultra soon. And they added the laser autofocus to minimize the focus issues we experienced with the S20 Ultra. They also talked about the night mode. They still used the Nona pinning technology we saw in the S20 Ultra by combining 9 pixels into one to get better low light performance, which means the photos taken using night mode are 12 megapixel photos. But what's new this time is the enhanced AI in night mode to take photos in situations where the human eyes can't see. So hopefully these claims will make a difference, because pixel pinning didn't help the S20 Ultra beat the Google Pixel 4 XL, the 3 XL, or the iPhone 11 Pro Max in night shots. Another dramatic change in the camera is the inclusion of two 10 megapixel zoom lenses, a 3x telephoto with f2.4 and a 10x periscope with f4.9 versus only one 48 megapixel periscope with 4x optical zoom and f3.4 in last year's model. I do like this approach more because you will get up to 10x optical zoom instead of the 10x hybrid zoom of the S20 Ultra. But what's concerning me is the aperture. The 10x periscope is f4.9, which is too high, so I don't think it will perform well in low light unless the improved AI will do its magic to produce good photos. There are a lot of other enhancements like the 12-bit HDR to decrease motion blur and gives a 3 times better HDR as per Samsung. But if you take a look closely at the event, it says here supported in select photo modes and shooting conditions, so it's not clear yet what are these conditions. Another cool feature called intelligent zoom lock. This feature will lock the viewfinder on the subject while zooming to minimize handshake. All cameras can record at 4K 60 with the ability to see a live preview from all cameras. A 12-bit RAW files in Pro mode versus 10-bit only on the S20 Ultra of last year. The S21 Ultra will be able to shoot 8K videos at 24 frames per second like its predecessor. The ultra-wide lens of the S21 Ultra now supports autofocus, which didn't exist in last year's model, and and that should have a positive impact on your photos sharpness. The new macro mode to shoot photos 5 centimeters away from the subject, and more. Overall, I do hope Samsung claims about the camera this year will match the expectations. Next, the display. With Samsung phones, you will never go wrong with the display quality. I'm expecting a superior display in the S21 Ultra, and the most exciting feature is the ability to use the 120Hz refresh rate with the 1440p resolution. And to save your battery life, the adaptive refresh rate now ranges from as low as 10 Hz up to 120 Hz based on your usage, which is a smart idea. Not only this, but you also get 50% better contrast, a whopping 1500 nits brightness, and 100% color volume. I'm so excited to see how the display will look like in reality. In addition to the S Pen support, honestly, I don't think it's a smart idea because the S20 Ultra is a big phone and you need a case with an extra space to attach your pen, which will make the phone even bigger. So please let me know your opinions in the comments below. Do you think the S21 Ultra S Pen support is a good idea or not? Next, the battery. Surprisingly, in this area, the S21 Ultra became worse than its predecessor. First, it supports a maximum charging speed of 25 watts versus 45 watts in the S20 Ultra. And it will not include the charger in the box. Other than this, everything is the same. The S21 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery with 15 watts fast wireless charging and 4.5 watts reverse wireless charging. So hopefully the new 5nm architecture in the Exynos 2100 or the Snapdragon 888 will help improve the battery life. Another downgrade in the S21 Ultra is the removal of the SD card slot, which is new to Samsung. But on the bright side, there are other improvements that haven't been mentioned in the event, like the UFS 3.1 storage versus UFS 3.0 in last year's model, Bluetooth 5.2 versus 5.0, and the 77% bigger under-display fingerprint sensor. Finally, the design. I do really like the matte finish of the S21 Ultra. It looks so much better than the glossy finish of last year, and the new Phantom Black color is my favorite. Overall, I'm really happy with the look of the S21 Ultra. It has a clean design with better aesthetics than last year's model. So now let's sum up everything. Based on what I saw in the Unpacked event, there are two areas that concerns me the most. First, the Exynos 2100 chipset. I hope Samsung this year will be able to close the gap between the Snapdragon and the Exynos variants in terms of performance and battery life. Secondly, the camera. Based on my experience with the S20 Ultra, the camera didn't meet my expectations considering the price tag and the spec sheet. And I'm looking forward for better AI performance in the S21 Ultra. So that's pretty much it for today. Those are my initial thoughts about the S21 Ultra. Please stay tuned for my full review and the camera comparison soon. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like my video, and if you do, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Thank you for watching.